Apparently we have another call. We have Becky from Tacoma.
Becky from Tacoma, what's up?
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I had a question, and that is whether you think that it's a net positive for religious women who sort of take advantage of sort of some of the workarounds to losing your virginity before marriage, like a hymenoplasty, where you actually have reconstructive surgery to sort of fake a hymen, or use various liquids on the night of marriage that simulate bleeding, and whether you think that's a net positive for religious women or whether you think that that's negative.
In my opinion, it's negative.
Sounds like a negative to me, too.
Because we need to get over our hang-ups about vaginas. I mean, seriously, we as a society, we need to stop worrying about it. For reals. It's pointless. It's stupid to worry about whether you bleed on your wedding night. You know, most women aren't going to, even if they've never had sexual intercourse before. If they're starting sexual intercourse in their mid to late teens, they're not likely to have a hymen. They're not likely to experience bleeding. And if they do a little foreplay, they're probably not going to have much pain either. So, hey, we really need to...
For the individual religious woman, that's a way to... for them to have some agency over their own sexual
It probably is a
life.
way for them to have agency. I mean, you said net positive, so I was thinking in terms of like societally, like as a larger group, is it a good thing to be doing this? In terms of like for an individual, I think it's up to the woman. If she's living in a culture and in a society where it is expected that she bleeds the first time she has sex, and that if she may be facing some kind of serious physical harm or other consequences if she doesn't, yeah, go for it. If you have the means to do it, do it. If it's going to save your life potentially or save you from physical abuse, do it. What's a little bit of chocolate sauce on the sheets with some red food coloring in it? You know, I mean, do what you got to do.
I'm fully in support of people doing whatever it is they want to do with their lives, but I'm also fully in support of people having enough facts to make an informed decision. So if this is what they want to do, and they've been told, here are the possible consequences of this, or here are the benefits of that, here are the drawbacks, all of that stuff, and they still want to simulate a virgin wedding night, fine, whatever floats your ducky. But if that's not, if they don't have all the facts at their command, then I think it's a rotten idea.
Yeah, and like I said, it may be something that is the right choice to make for an individual woman. I just wish that we didn't have to humor those cultures and societies that put these kinds of unrealistic, anatomically impossible expectations on women. It sucks for them, basically, is what I'm saying. They may be in a situation where they need to, and where it may be a net positive thing for them to do to save their own skins. But I sure as hell wish that the entire world, the whole country, everybody living in it, was educated enough and forward-thinking enough to where this wouldn't matter.
Yeah, I can't imagine possibly wanting any of this stuff myself, but if that's what people are into, there are weirder fetishes out there.
Anyway, did we answer your question, Becky?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you
very much. Okay, anywho. So where was I in my notes? That was a good call. Good question.
It was, yes, actually, yeah. A lot of it was stuff I hadn't heard about before. I've heard of things like that, but not all of those, and some of them are odd.
By the way, while we were talking about that very serious call, our floor director, who's a total smartass, held up a sign that said "Mecca Vagina." So.
Well, better a smartass than a dumbass.
That's true. Anyway, I did come up with a reason why we were discussing this about why, maybe the reason why we put so much focus on female virginity as opposed to male virginity as a society is because we kind of perceive maybe higher consequences for girls because they are the ones who might end up getting pregnant, right? I mean, if you get pregnant, that's a lot of resources you have to give of yourself for the rest of, 18 years, potentially the rest of your life, to take care of your offspring. So even though in our society we do expect men to step up to the plate and take care of the kids they father, it doesn't always happen that way, but typically the female is kind of stuck with whatever kids she ends up having. So it is probably a little bit more risky for girls to not remain pure until their wedding, but...
There is that, and there's also the old school, like, we have to know paternity thing.
Yeah.
If you remain a virgin, then we know who the father is because we know the only person you had sex with. Mind you, I don't know why you should necessarily care. Yes, we have a mandate to pass on our genes and all of that, but I'm adopted. If I ever have kids, I'll probably adopt, and there are a lot of unwanted kids out there. Is the idea to perpetuate your genes, or is the idea to raise a kid to have a family? You know, so, I mean, not to get on that pedestal, but still, it, you know, that virginity exists specifically to know paternity is kind of well, it's outdated, and what's the point?
Right. And I doubt that that's any conscious reason that most people would think of in modern times when they get on their weird little horse and ride it around about this particular issue. It's probably not something that really occurs to them. It's probably more like, oh, I don't want my daughter to have to go through that. And fine, that's okay. But, you know, even though she's a teenager and she's young, it is your daughter's body, and it is her choice to make for herself. And your job as a parent is to provide her with the knowledge she needs to make an informed decision, not to tell her, oh, just don't have sex, and then just worry about the consequences after that fails to work, as it does in, like, what, 70% of the time.
Well, I'd love it if more people believed that, you know?
Yeah.
I'd love it if more people said it's her body, it's her choice. I'd love it if more people said, you know, you're my daughter, so I love you. But it seems like a lot of families just don't feel that way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I don't know, this whole, like, weird hang-up about not having sex until an arbitrary point in time, is that, like, is it just a masochism thing? Do people just have these masochistic tendencies? Is this just another way for religious people to enjoy denying their true natures? Some kind of, like, assumed greater good? It's gonna, like, get them into heaven faster or keep them out of hell? I don't know.
Not a clue.
It could be that too.
So, incidentally, if you are watching this show on the internet and still want to ask us a question, you can. There's a voicemail number. And you can call, leave a message, and we answer a lot of those on the air. The voicemail number is 206-420-0997. So give us a call.
Yeah, call us. It'll be good times. You won't talk to us, but you'll talk to the voicemail, and that's almost as good. I'm kidding, it's not anywhere close to as good. But if that's what works for you, then we want you to do it.
Well,
because we care about you.
You know, talking to one of us would be bodacious. It'd be pretty rad. So give us a call. You know, right now,
it would be both
if you're
bodacious
watching,
and rad.
Absolutely. If you want to call us now, there's not a lot of time left, but 206-421-5658.
Anyway, yeah, thinking about the whole, like, weird masochism denying your true nature thing, I have worked with exotic animals several times in the past, and is anybody
or erotic?
Just exotic?
Okay. She hates puns, by the way.
I do. I hate puns. Thank you. There's a thing that animals do called stereotyping. When they're put into a situation that is totally unnatural for them, they start to have any of a variety of strange behaviors. And it's basically this manifestation of the animals not having some of their needs met. And I kind of wonder if maybe this whole sexual denial thing that is so common in religious groups manifests itself as a form of stereotyping. I mean, if we look at the child abuse that's been surfacing for years and years now in the Catholic Church among priests who are expected to remain celibate, I mean, I don't think that's a coincidence. I'm sorry.
No, probably not. I mean, let's face it, if you've got a bunch of priests out there and they're told you can't have sex for their entire lives. Now, any of you who've had sex probably can't imagine that, and neither can I. But, you know, if you can't imagine what that's like, if you can't imagine not having sex for your entire life, imagine these people who are attempting it, and the only other people they're surrounded by are altar boys. What do you think's going to happen?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, humans are humans. They have drives. I'm not going to say they have needs, because no one needs that. But, you know, come on, let's face it. That is a really awkward situation to put people in. That is not a good thing. So, you know, I mean, these rules, these religious rules about not having sex, about remaining a virgin, they're damaging.
They are damaging. They're extremely damaging, and not only to people around you, to the priests and the people who they come into contact with, but rules, arbitrary rules about when you can and can't have sex are damaging to totally innocent people too. I mean, if you think about all these kids who are getting pregnant before they're prepared because they were never given the knowledge to protect themselves, but they still have sexual drives, they end up with all these babies that they've got to take care of. And I mean, I know it's like, ooh, you can get a reality show now if you're 16 and pregnant or whatever, okay, But, you know, most of these children are coming into underprivileged families already set back from the beginning of their lives because their parents weren't informed enough to wait to have them. And it is damaging to society all across the board, everywhere. And we just need to stop it. Can we just stop with the hang-up about sex? Oh my God, sex good, hang-ups bad. Come on. Ugh. Anyway. So we're going to be meeting for snacky snacks and drinks after the show at the Ram, and I think we're going to do the one at U Village, right?
U Village, yes.
U Village, okay, it's going to be good times.
But
come on down and say hi to us.
Exactly, but if you're coming down to proselytize or frankly to bitch at us, please don't. We're there for, you know, a friendly get together. If you want to, you know, talk about the issues, fine, but you know, please be civil and courteous.
Yeah, you don't have to think like we do. You don't have to be an atheist to come hang out with us. You're totally welcome to come and chill with us if you think very differently from the way we do. We'd love to talk to you, just as long as you're civil and nice and friendly.
And not going to throw food at us.
No food.
Although I think so far we've only had atheists show up.
I think so far, but yeah, you know, there are lots of people in Seattle. Come out and chill with us. It'll be good times.
I mean, you know, despite what you've seen on the show, we are pretty easygoing. I mean, yeah, okay, sarcastic at times, but nice. You know, nice. So
we're generally pretty cool. Even when we have technical difficulties and you can't hear me half the time.
Yeah, well, you know, for some people that might be no, I'm not going to say it's a benefit. Never mind.
I don't love you anymore, Kate.
She's going to punch me, I swear.
I'm sad. I'm hurt inside. Anyway, I do have some final thoughts here. It's nobody's business what you do with your body but your own. It's not even Yahweh's business. Don't worry about it. Be safe, be smart, be yourself, be informed. Sexuality is part of being a human being, and teens are going to experience it if they feel they need to. We as adults in our society, we need to be providing them with the knowledge to make informed decisions about the experiences they want to have, and to feel comfortable enough discussing their bodies and their decisions with their partners and not heaping shame or peer pressure on them to behave a certain way. So basically, in your face, silver ring thing, in your face.
And I mean, shame is not a virtue. I've never understood why people say that. You know, I mean, have you no shame? Darn right I don't. You know, I mean, we should be able to talk about these things. I mean, yes, they're kind of personal. Yes, they're kind of embarrassing. But, you know, come on, keeping everyone informed is very much a good thing. It's the best way to keep us safe and happy. I mean, you know, if someone's in a relationship and not getting what they want, or if someone is in a relationship, a new relationship, and they don't know what they're supposed to do, it's awkward for everybody.
It's no fun.
I mean, come on, think about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it right now. Awkward.
My brain is doing pelvic thrusts. Sorry.
The show just got weird with 2 minutes left to spare.
Not everyone gets my kind of humor.
That's okay. We love you anyway. Did I mention we won 4 awards?
Oh, yeah. Check it out.
Aren't they beautiful? They're kind of see-through. We love that. Yeah. So thank you again to the people who helped us win these awards by voting in the SCAN Award voting process. We stacked the deck so hardcore that I'm pretty sure next year for the SCAN Awards they're going to make some kind of filter to make sure that you're voting from like a Seattle zip code or something. I don't know.
Something like that. I mean, you know, I've got what, 7,100 YouTube subscribers. If even a third of you voted, that might have tipped the balance.
Yeah,
Thank you guys.
It kind of became a little bit of a joke at the awards that like anytime somebody won something that was not Ask an Atheist, they were like, we only won because Ask an Atheist wasn't nominated. It was fun and everybody had a good sense of humor about it, but yeah, we did well. We were pleased.
Speaking of my YouTube channel, BionicDance. Subscribe, you'll love it. Trust me.
It is pretty good. You have some really fun videos on there about
I do my best.
Atheism and some skepticism topics too, all kinds of really cool stuff.
And occasionally nerd stuff.
So anyway, that's it. I'll see you guys later.
May the force be with you.